All right, welcome back to the Net to Net podcast. This is a live reaction right after the Colombia versus Argentina final for Copa America, the end of the summer of soccer. Hate to see it end, but we get ready for the Premier League and the league season. But I'm just going to react real quickly. What a game. What a game. This is two heavyweights. It was a really good game. Colombia came out with some energy pretty much the entire game. They looked very well. I know a lot of this game was supposed to be a 9 o'clock game, ends up being kickoff at 9:22 due to a lot of issues that we saw in the beginning of the game, which unfortunately sucks. I could tell a lot of the players were frustrated. You could tell on Emi Martinez's face during warm-ups the first time around. They just wanted to play. Unfortunately, some issues with fans rushing it, causing stampedes, causing health and safety of fans, which sucks because in those, and you just have to think this is Combo needed to do a better job. And I think it's a good wake up call for what's going to happen in 2026 with the World Cup being played. There's, I believe, 7 games going to be played in Miami at the Hard Rock Cafe, as well as I think it's a quarterfinal or semi, I can't remember, and a third place game that will be taking place in Miami at that stadium. So it's definitely a good wake up call, but definitely people that shouldn't have been at the games were making it worse for people that were at the games, rushing the barriers, getting over stuff, which we never want to see people get injured. We never want to see people get hurt, which sucks because we just wanted an entertaining game, and with that, it kind of caused a lot of issues. We've seen it before in finals in Paris a couple of years ago with Real Madrid and Liverpool. We saw it in a qualifier with Argentina against, I believe it was Bolivia, which sucks. But yeah, but going to the game, this game was very exciting from the start of the game. Colombia looked hot. Argentina looked a little standstill. I don't think they were really ready for it. Honestly, throughout this tournament, Argentina has been really inconsistent on their play. They've been scrapping away, getting 1-0 wins or winning in penalties, and Colombia's maybe had one scrappy game against Uruguay, and other than that, pretty much got through pretty much everybody. But to not say the least, this game was interesting. We saw probably the biggest news of the day. Lionel Messi goes down in about the 66th minute. It was a non-contact injury, which for me, getting injured in non-contact before is rough. I think anyone would say they'd rather go into a tackle and get injured than go in non-contact because you never know what's happening with that non-contact injury. I hope a speedy recovery. Hopefully he gets better. We never want to see anyone get injured, get hurt like that. We saw Ronaldo leave the Euros in 2016. That was sad. We saw Messi go down crying. We see the emotion on these players. But other than that, it was an intense game. It was pretty intense. 56 possession from Colombia, 19 shots, 4 on target, and then 11 shots, 6 on target, 44 possession from Argentina. A lot of fouls, 18 for Colombia, 8 for Argentina. There was a lot of fouls towards the end of the game. A lot of got to give a hand to honestly Romero and Lisandro Martinez having one of the best games in the tournament. They were rock solid back there, which it was pretty good for them. And you think of Lisandro and Romero, they're two great center backs in the Premier League. They played really well. From the Argentina side, Di Maria took over that role of the star, the legend on the field, going out in his last game, winning a trophy, riding out into the sunset. That's pretty good. not a lot of people get to have that chance to do that, go on top. Um, a very few do actually do that. It was a good game from the Argentinian side. They stuck together. They showed why they are champions. They showed why they're back to back champions. We haven't seen this since the Spaniards did it with 2 Euros and with the World Cup in between. Now Argentina has done it, which is all props. And then for the Colombia side, it was a good game. Just mistakes there. Quintero playing a ball back, giving the ball away in your defensive third, which is never good. And then they counter on the attack. Lo Celso counters, plays in Lautaro Martinez in the 112th minute. Think about these two guys come on in about the 97th minute, which is insane. The depth that Luis Scaloni can go into his bench is insane. I think Colombia, young and inexperienced enough. Yes, their 27 unbeaten streak was broken today, but don't get me wrong. Colombia deserved to be at this tournament, deserved to be in this final. They played really well. They probably played the hardest team in the tournament before they played Argentina, and that's Uruguay, who's really good. They got superstars playing in Europe all over the place. But Colombia, give props to them. James had an unbelievable tournament. 1 goal, 6 assists, breaks Messi's record in Copa America. But this really shows this Argentinian team really um, the team, the depths. Like, yes, Messi goes down, but the likes of bringing on Lautaro Martinez and Nicolas Gonzalez, El Celso, Leonardo Paredes. Like, this team is so, like, I don't know. This team is so big and depth wise that you can bring on these superstars. I think that's what Colombia's lacks. Being able to bring on a superstar, bringing on a tower, but give it up to Camilo Vargas taking over the role for David Ospina. And yeah, Lautaro Martinez walks away with the Golden Boot. Um, Emi Martinez walks away with Golden Gloves, and then James Rodriguez officially walks away with Best Player of the tournament, which is deserved. I think James Rodriguez deserved. He really showed like what he's gone through mentally and physically at the club level at Sao Paulo, not being able to play since February, being able to bring in a mental health specialist, bringing into a fitness coach to help him be good, and he comes out and shows what he was doing and why he got that move to Real Madrid in 2014, that $100 million move, because what he can do on the field. And I think Nestor Lorenzo had a great coaching in this tournament, but I think subbing out Luis Diaz might have been the costly mistake. You don't bring off players that can win you games. Yes, I know they're tired. Yes, they might be a defensive liability, but you're not really asking them to be help on the defense. You're asking them to help you win games, and they can provide offense. I think that was a real big mistake. I did like Bora coming on for Cordoba for fresh legs, but you can keep James and you can rotate everybody else. You can keep Diaz in and rotate everybody else. I want to say Santiago Arias. I think they really missed. Well, Santiago Arias, he played a very good game for how old he is, coming back from a leg injury. But I think they did miss that dynamic play of Daniel Munoz, because he's very good defensively, but he's very good going forwards, which Arias is very good defensively, but not as great as going forward. So they missed that piece on the right hand side, which Munoz did, which Munoz made a bonehead mistake in the semifinals against Uruguay and getting sent off, which I think that's the common theme right now of players right now getting sent off and making dumb mistakes lately, which I've noticed in Copa America, Euros, MLS, like making dumb mistakes. But yeah, players were dropping like flies. James Rodriguez probably the standout of this tournament. I think Richard Rios from Colombia also was a standout. I think he gets a move to Europe in this coming window. Argentina, Lautaro Martinez played unbelievable in this tournament. 5 goals, 3 of them coming as a sub. That just shows the depths of um, Argentina. And then Di Maria, one of my favorite players, played for Real Madrid for many years. Just unbelievable player to watch. Can't hate the guy. Um, uh, yeah, he unbelievable. I'm happy for him. He being rooting for Colombia this game. I know I wanted them to win, like Jim mentioned. But yeah, it was unbelievable. It's sad to see. I wanted to see Colombia win it. They haven't won since 2001. But hey, they're going to be around for a while. They're young. They're good. Hopefully, James is back for the 2026 World Cup. I know it's 2 years away. Let's see what he does in club. Because you need that guy. He showed why he's the captain. He showed why he's the number 10. He showed he can make big plays for his national team. Even if his club team, if he's not doing great at the club level, which a lot of players have done that in the past, showing up for country but not showing up for club, because it's a lot different. I think there's more pride and there's more joy that you play for your national team. I think you've seen it with Gareth Bale, you've seen it with Ronaldo, you've seen it with Messi. The emotion that you see on the field, you see Ronaldo crying after a penalty miss, you see Messi crying after coming off. James accepting the second place trophy, tears in his eyes, like he really wanted it. It just shows that these players are dedicated to their country, and I think there's more of a pride and there's more of a joy and aspect from it. But all in all, Colombia showed great. This is a great tournament to watch. Now summer soccer's over. Technically, you got the Olympics coming up, which we'll be looking forward to that. But it's not honestly the Olympics is fun to watch, but soccer wise, but it's not the same because they like to keep it the World Cup and Copa America, the Euros, the main things. That's why it's not seen as a UEFA sanctioned tournament thing because they want to keep it prestige. They want to keep the World Cup, the Euros, the Copa prestige as like it's more for the younger guys and maybe a couple older players. But so all in all, it's still a good competition, but it doesn't compare to Copa and doesn't compare to the Euros or the World Cup, especially the World Cup. But all in all, give it off to Colombia, give it off to Argentina. What a great tournament! Same with Spain and England in the Euros earlier today. You'll see our reactions to after the Spain game, which was fun. We got to have all the boys back, but today me talking about this game, there's a lot of players that stood out in this competition. If I had to do my team of the tournament, I would probably do, I don't know, Emi Martinez in goal. He had a phenomenal tournament. Honestly, I would do a 4-3-3. And your back line has to be, I would say, your two. I would probably go just to get him in. I would probably do Lisandro Martinez at left back just to get him in because he played amazing this tournament. Christian Romero, and honestly, Cuesta. Cuesta had a great tournament for Colombia. Or sorry, not Cuesta. Davidson Sanchez. He had a great tournament. I think he deserved to be in that team of the tournament. He played every minute for Colombia. He was rock solid in the back. So I'd go Lisandro Martinez. Yes, it's not there. Yeah, you can make an argument for Tagliafico, Anton Robinson, Vina, Mateus Oliveira, but I just get him in. Get the three center backs that I would want in: Lisandro Martinez, Davidson Sanchez, Christian Romero. They had a phenomenal tournament. On the right side, I would probably have to go Daniel Munoz from Colombia, from the Crystal Palace. Man, he had he had a great tournament, 2 goals. In the midfield, you have to go Rodrigo Paul. He shows he doesn't need the goals. He doesn't need the assists. He plays. He's their dirt. He's not dirty, but he does the dirty work. He's the man. I give it to him. I would say James Rodriguez, and I would say probably Valverde. Valverde or Agarte has to be in there. They just played unbelievable for Uruguay. And then your up front has to be, I would go unless you actually no, I'm going to play James up front at right wing. So your midfield, I'm going to go with Garte, Valverde, and Rodrigo de Paul. I think they had a phenomenal tournament. And then up front, Lautaro Martinez, James Rodriguez, and I'm honestly going to go Araujo from Maximiliano Araujo from um, Uruguay. Di Maria gets a very good shout for what he did in this tournament. I think he had a great tournament, but Araujo was very consistent for Uruguay. You can make an argument for De La Cruz in the midfield, which he had a very good tournament as well. At right back, you could say Nandez or Munoz. I would go either one, either way. Had a great tournament. You definitely saw. It's funny. You see Nandes get sent off. You see what Uruguay was missing against Colombia, and then Munoz gets subbed off, and you see what they missed in the finals with him. So there's a lot. Those two, I think, really showed what they missed, that quality at that position. But all in all, that's probably my team of the tournament. It was a fun tournament. We love watching Copa. We love watching the Euros. I'm happy that it was just a summer filled of soccer. My team Spain won today. Unfortunately, Colombia didn't get the job done, but they'll be back. Now everybody looks to the set of the World Cup in 2026, and that's qualifying for that World Cup on home soil. Hopefully, the U.S. can do better. But all in all, great tournament. I love the game. In the game, it was physical. It was hard. It was hardcore pound for pound, heavyweights. They hit it on an analogy. Two heavyweight boxers going back to back. It was amazing. It was an amazing game to watch. I can't be mad. Give it up for Argentina. They deserved it. Even being a Ronaldo fan, you still have to give it up for one of the greatest players in the history of soccer, and Messi, um, for what he's done in his career. Winning a Copa America is a great achievement. And you kind of and yeah, you talk about if you're a Ronaldo fan or a Messi fan, who's the best. Some people will say Ronaldo's the GOAT. Some people will say Messi's the GOAT. But kind of just take it in. A 37 Messi and a 39 Ronaldo. How many more years are we actually going to see them at this level? And you just kind of have to take it in all at once. You're seeing. I think it's funny. I was talking to I think I was talking to Brett off camera, yes, or a couple days ago or today. I can't remember. I'm just talking about all the players that have retired in the last year. We think about Kroos, Robben, David Silva, they're not company, Aguero, uh, Bale, Chiellini, Bonucci, Buffon. You see all these players retiring, and um, you just have to take it in because, like, when we have kids into the future, they're gonna be talking about the Mbappes, the Endricks, the Lamine Yamals of the world. We had our generation, probably the best generation to watch soccer. I think talent wise, yes, you had our previous generation talk about like Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, the Brazilian, Kaká at a young age, and then even before that, you had the Pele's and the Maradona generations, Johan Cruyff, but and the likes of Zinedine Zidane and Zidane and those guys. But our class, we talked about Benzema, Ronaldo, Messi, Modric, Di Maria, Kroos, Company, Aguero, Tevez, Terry, just to name a few. You think about the likes of this, and just watching the post game, you see probably three players that who knows if they're going to be playing for Argentina at the World Cup. We know Di Maria is not. Is Otamendi done after this year? Is Messi done after this? What did they both? They all won World Cups. They don't have to prove anything to us that they've won everything in soccer. So other than that, it was a great tournament. It was a great thing to watch. Spain lift the trophy. Argentina lifts the trophy. And honestly, I'm ready for the world. Bring on the World Cup. I wish the World Cup was next year, but instead we got the Club World Cup coming up, which will be a great tournament to watch. We also got La Liga, Premier League about to start next month. We'll dive into the transfer window a lot more, but I just want to kind of get my thoughts of it. It's fun to get my thoughts after the games, like right after, because I'm thinking about everything that happened in the game, like controversy. I know texting back and forth with Brent Kirsch, talking about at the end of the game. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. You stick your leg up and you clip and you get the guy going in for the header, and you clip him and he goes down. That's a penalty. I don't know why the referee decided to just hold the ball for the longest time and then do a drop ball. Either blow the you got to either blow the whistle or you got to call the penalty. That in that situation that's a penalty, and I think that's what they missed. Um, I think the refereeing for both tournaments, I would say I'd give it slightly to the Euros. They had better refs, except minus the England Netherlands game. But honestly, Copa was kind of shaky with the refereeing. I think there was a lot of missed calls. Um, but again, that's a high pressure job, and you have to make those calls. And some people aren't going to like those calls. So being a referee, you just have to be able to make those calls, and you have to stand by those calls. And I think that's what they did. There definitely was a few missed calls, but yeah, now summer of soccer is pretty much over. Now we look forward to the right now MLS, and then Leagues Cup. Messi gets a couple weeks off with him and Suarez, and then they're back for Inter Miami, and then everybody makes that playoff push for the MLS, and then we'll start Premier League and La Liga and Serie A, Bundesliga, and Liga, and all the other leagues start up soon. So it'll be interesting to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This will probably be released tonight, so definitely go check it out. You'll probably listen to it in the morning. But yeah, I just want to get my final thoughts out to end Copa America. Hope you guys enjoyed. You'll definitely see our reaction to. Actually, it's going to be weird. You're going to see this episode, and then you're going to see our next episode that's released tomorrow, which reacts to the Spain-England game and our previews to Copa, and talking about Greg Berhalter in the U.S., as well as talking about the crew. So you'll definitely see that episode, and then you'll see an NBA episode out too. So see you on the flip, and see you guys soon. Peace.